we really need to check our demographics, right? I mean, no one here is below 18. We get into some pretty grim, dark stuff, all right? It makes me a bit worried. I'm gonna have to check it.
What makes it possibly even grosser is the fact that Twitch uses in-game money, meaning a kid could use their parents' money to buy Twitch bits or whatever the
bits,
and then use those Twitch bits in order to get these women to interact with them and to shake their and their parents would never know. Many people suspect this is the reason Twitch made that change, but I don't know. It does line up with Twitch's MO. They will do anything to keep these women on their platform. They are their cash cow. They bring in the big bucks.
Literally.
After all, there is a market for this. Men, takes two to tango. Most of these bitches would be broke if it wasn't for your coomer asses. Oh wow, sex working under capitalism?
I mean, it is the oldest profession. It's just online now.
How crazy. Every man in this comment section has mommy issues and gets no actions. Y'all mad she's making more money with less effort. Finding this sexual makes you're a pervert. Go to your...
If I was a girl, I have to admit, the whole thing, the amount of money would actually put my morals into question. I mean, the first question is, would I be good looking enough? If I was a girl, would I be good looking enough to actually make money off the internet? And the question number two is that how much money exactly would I make? How much would I be making off the internet if I was a girl? I mean, guys, let's face it, alright? I'm working under a VTuber male debuff already. I mean, I do this for fun. But if I was a girl, I mean, I promise you that I'd have more than 200 guys following the channel. I mean, we do war stuff, we do history stuff, we do war stuff, we do Warhammer, we do Trench Crusade and other tabletop things. But if I was a girl, yeah, we'd probably do the whole VTuber lewd stuff. But then again, we take the hands that we've been dealt with.
Dead mom. Smartest
What?
Twitter user. Sounds like you're just mad you can't manipulate a following in the same fashion. Granted, I don't condone it, but you're coming off as salty as a group of people found a loophole around the TOS and are abusing it. Frankly, these women should be praised for thinking outside the...
Because I know these catering sex to minors is wrong. That those female teachers that have sex with students. Here's the thing, right? As a 13-year-old boy, every time I see it on the news, the first thing that comes to my mind as a man, right, that went through high school, every time I see a news about a teacher having sex with a student, a female teacher having sex with a student, is that, oh my God, where were these angels when I was in high school? Where were they? That's what comes to mind. So, I mean, with regards to the whole morality thing, is that I put up a lot of effort just to acquire porn. The internet did exist, but it wasn't a thing yet. So we all had to put in the effort. We all had to put in the money in acquiring porn. All right, because you just can't, as an underage boy, you just can't go in to your local 7-Eleven, grab a Playboy, and then put it to the counter. No. The cashier is just simply going to say, no, you can't have it yet, you're not 18. That's the equivalent of, getting a beer and then putting it on the counter. No, you're not. You can't get this yet, you're not 18. So we had to go to other places to find porn. But now it's easier access. I mean, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, I still think about this whole thing like a 13-year-old boy. Like, oh, thank God, it's so much easier now. And like before, all we had was like pirated DVDs and pirated VCDs, and some even go as far as getting VHS things to tapes to work. It's like there was this joke by Kumail Nanjiani. He found porn in the VCR. He basically broke the VCR by playing porn on it, and the thing is, he tried to fix it himself, but he couldn't. So what he did was he went over to this VCR fixing place, and of course the guy takes a look at him, and the guy takes a look at the VCR, and then the guy leans down and says, "You know what? Next time a tape gets caught, bring it to me immediately. I won't tell your parents." So I guess when you think about it, as an adult man, I still think about this thing. I still look at this whole thing as a 13-year-old boy. Like, where was this like a decade ago? And now it's just easier, and now it's just more convenient. And guess what? I am thankful for it. But then again, Shoe here has a point that these things, or this is a website that's supposed to be catering to minors, yet they allow these people to actually make money off of these minors in this particular way. So, you know what? I don't know what to think about it.
The box and pandering to an audience that isn't oversaturated. You can't exactly criticize them for being smart enough to know which outlet has a higigher chance of yielding
Supply
income.
and demand, people.
What do you
Supply
mean?
and demand.
It takes 2 seconds to take off my shirt. Literally any woman in the world can do this, but most don't because making on a website mostly populated by minors is gross and insane. Gonna be honest, I thought you were a dude. Funny you shame the women when it's clearly women just taking advantage of the system we live under, capitalism. Yet you call yourself a socialist? A lot of issues do come down to capitalism, but as we do so often with other things, you can criticize people.
Then again, we all do what we have to survive this world.
Exploiting this system and exploiting the loopholes in this system. We don't just hand wave away politicians buying stock. We don't just hand wave away Jeff Bezos making his employees pee in bottles just because we live under capitalism and it is what it is.
I mean, years from now, these 12 or 13-year-old boys, when they're in their 20s, when they're in their 30s, are gonna say, "Oh, you guys remember Amaranth? You guys remember that girl? You saw that too, right? Good times. Wild times." That's exactly how they're going to look at it. Because I've been there. I've been a 13-year-old boy. I've been a 12-year-old boy. And you know what? Guess what? All the effort that I did just to acquire porn, I could have done less without her, right? Just like going back, thinking of my experience in high school, I could do with a few less scars. I mean, people have told me, you know what? You're lucky you went through some traumatizing stuff. You know what to do in the fight. I know you have scars to prove it. You know, fuck that. It hurt during that time, alright? I could live and I could, do with a few less scars. That's all I'm saying.
It is. No. Yes, ultimately, I guess it's a capitalism issue.
It's
a TOS issue. But you'd never apply this standard to people.
But then again, do we apply, like what she's saying right now, she's about to say, do we apply the standard to morals, to morality?
Marketing gambling.
Yeah.
Or crypto scams on Twitch, which is funny because, like, a year ago, there was like a bunch of gambling drama on Twitch, and one of the biggest critiques people had was, there are children on this site. You're basically selling gambling to children. So how is this any different? It's amazing that just because they're women, suddenly they get a pass. And if you call it out, you are...
How is this whole gambling, catering gambling to children any different to porn? Now there's a question right there. One for the philosophers, boys and girls. Can both be considered as inherently evil? You could literally link this whole thing. You've got pornography, you've got drugs, you've got gambling. All are bad, all are addictive. So, yeah, this one's one for the philosophers.
Or slut-shaming or a pick-me, of course. Oh look, Queen Pick-me is at it again, putting down other women. Shoe is, I'm not like other girls personified. Okay, this insult normally doesn't work, but it especially doesn't work here because I am like other girls. Most women, in fact, do not make on Twitch. It's incredible how criticism of even like a single woman is seen as some personal betrayal, and the only reason you would do so is male attention. I never understood why I need to feel some sort of like loyalty to complete strangers just because we were born the same sex. I don't know you bitches. I don't support all of you. Some of you were dumb. Like as if these kids don't have access to porn at the tips of their fingertips. Trust me, if they want porn, they will get it. There aren't any toddlers on Twitch.
See, again, if they want it, they will get it. When I was 13, it definitely wasn't at the tip of our finger, so we actually had to put in the effort. We had to fight for it. I knew fights went down for VCDs and a copy of Playboys. I remember too, guys, there was this newspaper drive one time, and I remember these two guys got in a shoving match because they found this newspaper with a nip slip. It somehow got past the censor. They have a pic with a nip slip of a model in it, and while those two were fighting, the guy behind me, right, was standing right behind me, but we were watching the fight go down. I said, those two are idiots, this whole stack is full of nip slips. And then he showed me, like, right, that the whole newspaper drive has been going on for like a month. And what he's been doing for like the past month was like basically collecting newspapers or pictures in the newspaper that have nip slips or that has semi-porn on it, and he actually made a stack off of it. The two guys were fighting over one nip slip, whereas he's been actually been going through the entire pile looking for nip slip or something porn equivalent in the stack of newspapers that we've been getting. So yeah, if they want it, they will get it. But then again, her issue is that this is a website that is supposed to cater to minors, and therefore, this thing shouldn't happen. However, there's also the issue of capitalism. So let's keep on going.
Which, as far as I'm aware, it's 13 plus. Do Americans think children will be traumatized by seeing naked women? Do they not realize those same kids can and do simply go to porn sites to jerk off? Shoe, I hate to tell you this, but the average kid is seeing way worse stuff online all the time. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's be real.
Definitely not a good thing.
Kids nowadays. I grew up with the internet as a kid/teen and was able to find stuff back in 2002. Where now it's...
Yeah, it was worse. It was definitely worse. I remember there were these Yahoo groups where as teenagers, as 12, 13-year-olds, we would be paired into groups with grown-ass men, grown strangers. But you know what? During that particular time, I mean, most of the predators I encountered where, one tried to put his finger up my butt was all and done in real life. I guess predators during the early 2Ks, online predators weren't a thing yet because most of the predators we encountered IRL.
Literally so easy to find stuff, and most teens have phones. I don't think they would be fazed by this content. Again, that is a bad thing. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. Yep. I hate this whole, well, that's just the way things are attitude. That's how you get...
Yep, that's just the way things are.
People coming up with these head-ass ideas, like
what the fuck? Alright, this is crossing the line. Alright, this is bad. Alright, definitely crossing the line. Who is this? Flora E. Hill? Jesus Christ. What the hell? I mean, this one's definitely crossing the line. There's like, when you go to the internet, it's an entire landscape, and of course, there's some level of hypocrisy that, children shouldn't be watching this. Children should be off of this. But then again, we need that level of hypocrisy to stay away from things like this. Like, what the hell?
Making for kids because kids will find porn anyway. There were so many replies to me that were like, I was watching hardcore...
I mean, the logic is that might as well give some kids the alcohol or drugs because they will find it anyway. Like, holy hell. Alright, I mean, yeah, this is definitely crossing the line. This is definitely way like a mile behind the line.
Since I was 10 and I turned out fine. Your Twitter likes are public, sir. No, you didn't. You don't see a problem with this because you are extremely desensitized, and honestly, so am I. I'm no swerf, I'm no worker, exclusionary, radical feminist, because first of all, I'm not a feminist. It's like our culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore.
Desensitized.
Our culture is just becoming desensitized to sex, and that's not a good thing. I guess I just miss the days of tasteful thought.
I mean, is it a good thing that we've been desensitized to the whole thing? Our grandparents actually put sex and sexuality on a pedestal. Marriage first, you break it, you bought it. But then again, holy hell, look at the number of children they come up with. Look at what they did to the economy. Look at what they did to themselves. And look at what exactly happened to the boomers that made them turn this way. I mean, there's a reason why millennials like me are so traumatized or are so messed up. We were raised by boomers. Right? We were raised by boomers who was raised by the previous generation who put sex on a pedestal. Right? Who put romance on a pedestal. Holy hell.
Because of this oversaturation, many in Gen Z
you know
are
what? Yeah,
craving...
this could be the solution to this whole thing. Let's just see less sex in movies. Let's just all, you know what? Why don't we cut back on the whole thing? Moderation is the key. In fact, less is more. Let's do it.
Normal relationships on the big screen. They're bored of seeing sex everywhere. To them, sex has been available, one Google click away, since they were like, 4 years old, and it's having really negative outcomes. Like the amount of grown-ass millennials calling Gen Zers prudes and puritans is another word I saw. It's just really weird. Like,
no. You know what? Gen Zs have the right on this. You know what? Less is more. Let's all just cut back on the whole thing. It seems like the best idea. Let's just cut back the whole thing.
We're all addicted gooners. Maybe the younger generation is trying to tell us something.
Yep.
Someone called me a prude over this. Me. Just like with video games when I was a kid. Boys are mad because girls are playing in a space they've deemed theirs and are kicking their asses at it. So first of all, girls have already been in these spaces playing video games for years. There was no issue, so it's kind of weird to be like, sorry, we're kicking your asses, boys. Like, kicking their asses at what? Being naked on camera? Being naked on camera in front of minors? I just think it's interesting and ironic how, like, 10 years ago, these same people were fighting to keep sexualized women out of video games, and now they are fighting to keep sexualized women on Twitch, a website for video games. It has come full circle.
Yes, it has.
If only Anita was here to see it. Also, imagine flipping the genders in your stupid fake fan fiction. Imagine a grown-ass man coming into like a female space. I don't know, what's a female space? The Stanley Cup fandom. Those cups.
The what?
Imagine a man coming into the fandom of these cups.
Alright, I'm so sorry. When she said the Stanley Cup, I thought it was the hockey thing. The hockey trophy thing and NHL trophy thing.
Cups dangling his ding dong around, and people are like, "Can you stop? That's really weird." And he's just like,
yes,
"Oh wow, you just hate men." Like, f you, go away. These women aren't stealing anything from the men. If anything, they're stealing from the women. Because the more Twitch becomes a website for this, the more this shit rises to the top. And the more normal streamers, especially women, who don't do this, sink to the bottom. If I was a female, wait, I am a female. If I was a female gamer, grinding my ass off in this male-dominated space, the same way a lot of men do, and seeing what female content rises to the top of this website, I would be pretty demoralized. Look anywhere, not just Twitch. Sex work starts to appear like the only successful avenue a woman can go down. In
we definitely have to check the ratios of successful female streamers, because I could definitely count them off, like Lily Pichu, Sniper Wolf, who's that other girl, the cosplayer, Emery Chu. Was that Emery Chu? I can't remember. So whereas compared to the men, yeah, again, it's going to be a lopsided ratio.
2014, there was a lot of talk about harassment towards women online. And my answer would always be like, just trolls, just block them, just ignore them. They're trying to get a rise out of you, which is still true. But a lot of these people aren't trolls anymore. They're your followers, your friends, your allies. You see, harassment has evolved. 15 years ago, it was anonymous trolls entering your chat like, show me your tits. Now it's Jeff him politely asking if you're interested in joining OnlyFans. You know, show me your tits. For money. What is stopping me from taking off my shirt and making a ton of money? Besides, you know,
I bet you some of her followers have actually commented it or have actually chatted the same thing. That when is she going to join OnlyFans? So what's keeping her from joining OnlyFans? Let's see now.
A father figure. Pretty much nothing. Any woman can do this, which is why so many women do this. The pressure is insane for young women nowadays, and I honestly feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad for women. What is this? What is this strange feeling? But from their point of view, from what they've been told, society is going to sexualize them anyway. You're a woman online and you don't sexualize yourself? That's okay. We got AI for that. Also, while I'm editing this, I just noticed
this whole thing's illegal.
That was an ad. That's an ad on Twitter. It says ad in the corner. Dystopian. Why not simply take the power back and make money off the inevitable? It's getting weird out there. Men and women are...
Yeah, that sounds bad. Make money off of the inevitable?
Being pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Women are being sold this idea that they should be independent girl bosses who don't need no man. And if they want to make the choice to be sex workers, that's their choice. And I consider myself socially libertarian. So I'm all for personal choice. But how much of this really is personal choice?
Only coercion.
I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
When are things gonna go back to where you can work
The first one was definitely capitalism.
and support your family without f***ing stressing out? I can't do this anymore!
Like, I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days. Like, I'm just feeling so much despair, and I know I'm
Yep, we are looking at late stage capitalism.
normally like really positive, but I'm just like, how is everyone else, and are you okay? Because the answer's probably no.
We're gonna just start an OnlyFans. In 48 hours, how much money did you make?
3 hours.
Oh my god.
I made a little over $1 million.
$47 million to show tits and ass. Why wasn't I born a girl?
See, again, the question is, if I was born a girl, would I have been pretty enough? Because 47 million? Boys and girls, this is sell your soul money. People have done more for less. People have murdered for this kind of money.
Lives are on rookie. I wish I was a girl to make easy money like that. Women have it so.
So does it constitute easy money? Because there is such a thing as dignity. It's like when a bank robber gets caught, is it considered to be easy money? I mean, a guy is running from the law, and this one, you have to divest yourself of your dignity. Is it considered to be easy money?
So easy.
People have
It's not
done
even
more for
funny.
less.
There is a lie perpetuated by people on the internet that OnlyFans is this get-rich-quick scheme, but that couldn't be further from the
No, it's
truth.
not.
The average woman on OnlyFans only makes $180 a month.
Here's the thing, right? 50 million, that whole 50 million thing, we are looking at the top of the mountain. I have been saying this for years, right? You can definitely see this in sports, especially in boxing, right? You only see the people that have made it to Las Vegas. But you barely see the 1,000 other boxers or the 1,000 other fighters that never even made it past the gym. Because you're looking at the top of the mountain, you're looking at the top 1%. Every time you see Vegas, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, look at the others at MMA. Who's in the top right now? I don't even remember. I don't even know. Look at the NBA. It's the NBA finals right now. Look at the NBA. You are looking at the top 1%, top 10% of the entire world full of basketball players. They're the ones who made it to the top of the mountains. They're the ones who actually get coverage. But for the rest, where are they now?
And that's average. Most are making way less than that. But this get-rich-quick lie is not being sold by only random people on the internet. It's also being sold by OnlyFans itself.
See, this is the question, right? That's what I was asking. If I was a girl and I consider this, would I actually be considered as pretty enough to actually get to the 1 or 10%?
99-cent ramen goodbye and say hello to endless opportunities on OnlyFans. This
See-
is just the 2023 version of, hey lady, I see you're having financial problems. Say, can you dance? I have a couple of friends who are pretty famous
Probably.
OnlyFans models, and they've disclosed to me that allegedly people who work for OnlyFans have approached them, telling them to post about how much money they made or show off expensive things they bought with
using
money
only
they made
money.
by being an OnlyFans model in order to recruit more women to be OnlyFans models. This includes showing
So, is it any surprise that OnlyFans is acting like a pimp should? This is online prostitution. No other two ways about it.
off handbags, expensive clothes, makeup, cars, and even houses. Like, I just bought my first house thanks to OnlyFans. It's disgusting to do this in general, but especially disgusting to do this during a housing crisis. It's just evil. It's incredibly
The only distinction that I see right now is that regular prostitutes, or there's never been a documentary about regular prostitutes thanking their pimps for money, or thanking their pimps that they're now able to buy houses. Morally, the whole thing is wrong, right? Because the issue here is that Twitch is supposed to cater to minors, yet the content is supposed to be basically grooming these minors, and then you have OnlyFans that are supposedly recruiting these women. That's why her opening was only coercion. But then again, we are looking at late stage capitalism. Online prostitution is the whole thing, and some might even argue, you know what, this is safer than actually taking a corner in the street, or, you know, falling under a real life pimp or something.
Incredibly rare you can make a living doing this, just like YouTube. And I could not imagine if YouTube sold itself like, tired of being poor? Become a YouTuber. Like, what? Now, why would they do this? Why would OnlyFans manipulate and entice poor, desperate people like this? Oh, that's why. Of course it is. That's always why. In a way, we are all selling our bodies to labor. We are all whether you work at a fast food place, you're all...
I forgot who said it, but you know what, sister? Who in this world, we are all prostitutes. We just sell different parts of our bodies.
Lawyer or a YouTuber, you're a we're all for capital. At the end of the day, it's a job. These Twitch girls, these OnlyFans girls, they're getting their bag.
I mean, again, big bad world out there, and we all need to do what we have to in order to survive. Because what's the alternative here, people? What's the alternative, honestly?
Like me, like you, like everyone else. And I guarantee you, a lot of the men who about OnlyFans models would do it instantly if they could. You would all be s***s. And why wouldn't you? Go to college and go 100K in debt for a useless degree that won't get you a job? Or this? Why wouldn't you? Break your back and spirit working a 9-to-5 that you absolutely hate and get no satisfaction from? Or this? Why wouldn't you? And that, for the modern woman, is probably the most black-pilling question right now. Why wouldn't you? Get exploited?
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Or exploit yourself. So is it really?
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not working under a pimp. I guess that's the whole thing. Like she said earlier, just, you know what, lean towards the inevitable.
The Twitch Th0t's fault.
Sad world out there. It's a big bad world out there.
Taking advantage of a market to make it in an overwhelmingly male-dominated field. Is it really her fault for trying to survive in this unforgiving world, in a society that will abuse, exploit, and degrade her anyway? Is it really her fault? Yes! Yes, it is! Get off Twitch! It isn't for porn! The end! So that was that video.
See, that's the whole thing! What's the alternative here? Get off Twitch! The end! I mean... Is it? I mean, it's hard to think with an empty stomach. Alright? You've got the rent incoming, you've got the water bill, you've got the electricity bill incoming, you've got the gas bill incoming. Big bad world out there, boys and girls. I don't know. I don't have the mental capacity to provide a solution, alright? We're just here to look at the whole situation.
I have been wanting to talk about this subject for years now. What do you guys think about this? Do you also feel that desensitization feeling I'm talking about?
I don't know.
And how old were you when you first found this kind of stuff? Has it affected your life or relationships?
Quite young. I wasn't even double digits yet, if I remember correctly. I wasn't even 10 yet, so... Yeah, it definitely changed the way I see things in this world.
At all? But who cares about relationships? Who cares about real women? When we can have an AI girlfriend, am I right? Anyway, I will see you guys soon with a new video, possibly about that. New video for Valentine's Day. Okay, bye!
Bye! That was depressing. Thank you for watching, guys. So if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload on the weekends, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Also, check out our Twitch channel where you can watch me do this live. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo, and class dismissed.